Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the Hager. This is their part number 3917. This is a Backset Extension Link, is what it is. This is a piece of hardware that's used when you need to accomplish a specific backset and the hardware is not manufactured, the latch bolt is not manufactured in that specific backset. So with a link, you can take a generally 2 3/8 and add links to a 2 3/8 latch bolt to achieve a specific backset. The 3917 is used to achieve a 3 3/4 backset when you add this link to the backside of your latch bolt. Okay. Then once you have this connected to your latch bolt, you'll take this appears to be just aluminum tube and slide that all over, okay, giving yourself a complete latch bolt at that point. The rest of your latch bolt will be sticking out from this end, okay, and that's how you achieve longer, greater backsets. The term backset is defined as the dimension from the edge of the door to the center of a something. First of all, it's the edge of the door as measured from the center of the thickness. That's important because if you had a square edge door, you measure from the edge of the door to the center of whatever you're measuring to. That's the backset. But if you had a beveled edge door, it's important to know that that is from the center of the thickness. And what the reason that is the way it is, it makes life easy because all of a sudden now backset won't change based on door thickness. It's always from the center. The other part is talking about the backset is it can be to the edge of a hole, to the center of a hole like you would have for a lock set. But if you were going to specify reinforcing for a Dutch door bolt on a hollow metal Dutch door, the term that you would use is I would like the steel reinforcing to occur at, 4-inch backset, so they know where you want the location of the reinforcement for the steel for the screws of the Dutch door bolt. So backset can be used in different ways, but it is always defined as the center of the thickness of the door. 3 3/4 is not an unusual backset at all. You don't see it out in the wild often at all, but they do exist. Greater backsets exist generally because you'll have the lock set, or generally the lock set simply requires more room to get it fit onto the door and get it moved over a little bit further. So 3 3/4, you'll see that. And you generally do in terms of hospital latches. You'll see them as 3 3/4. You'll see them as 5-inch. You can also take extension links like this, and you can stack them together. Not that it's necessarily advisable, but in the 1950s and 60s, it's not uncommon to see a 5-inch backset or a 12-inch backset or an 18-inch backset where they've installed the hole for the lock literally in the center of the thickness of the door. So that's not unusual, and you can certainly do that. The downside of that is there's lots of springs now that are all involved in pulling that back, so you can expect to really feel all that spring power that you have to overcome to rotate the lock. Nowhere on here will it measure 3 3/4. Nowhere. You're going to use, and this is the important part. I've had people order. They come and say, "Yeah, I need an extension link. I got to get to 5-inch." Okay, here it is. And they come back and say, "Yeah, you sold me the wrong link." No, because they don't make more than one link for 5-inch. Nope, it's wrong. You sold me the wrong link. No, because even if that was remotely possible, it's impossible because they only offer one link, and you discover that they're using their 2 3/4 latch bolt. Not in every instance for every manufacturer do you use the 2 3/8, but in general you're going to start with a 2 3/8 original latch bolt. So be mindful of that. If this lock that you're extending to 3 3/4 and you've already got a 2 3/4 latch, you're going to need to purchase a latch bolt as well. So just an overall length of the body itself is about 1 5/8 or so, 1 9/16. The length of the sleeve, about 2.5. Outside diameter of that sleeve, every bit of about 7/8. Let's switch to the let's switch to the screen view so we can take a look at the extended description and some supporting documentation. Okay, so here's the item that we're looking at. 3917 3 3/4 link. Must be used with a 2 3/8 back set to achieve 3 3/4. You can use a 2 3/4 back set. You're just going to have a 2 3/4 latch bolt. You're just going to have a back set that's going to be 3/8 of an inch longer than that. Product catalog. Let's take a look at the product catalog and see what that's all about. 2500 series. So this is going to be an overview of that series of lock. There's our 3917. You get to a 5-inch with a 3937, and that's where things get a little screwy. You need a 2 3/4 to work with this one. Okay, so be mindful of that. On this same page, you'll be able to see the other part numbers for other latch bolts should you need to order a different latch bolt. These are what we would call drive-in latches, or round face RFLs, round face latch. This is when you're drilling just simply a 1-inch hole in the edge of your door. You would use an RFL or a drive-in latch. Strike plates for the 2500 series. That's a template for drilling the through bolt holes of the 2500 series, which is a grade 2 cylindrical lock. Okay, so this document is handy. It will give you an overview of the hardware itself again, but also the subcomponents that you may end up needing for this lock. That faceplate adapter that you see here, that's used when you have a prep in the edge of your door that is 1 1/8 wide, and you have a latch bolt that is only 1 inch wide. So the point of the matter is, if you had I don't see why you would. If for some reason you had a, they would make a 2 3/4 back set latch bolt with a 1-inch wide face. Hager doesn't. So if for some reason you had a 2 3/8 back set requirement and you had an 1 1/8 wide face, you would use that faceplate adapter. But knowing that faceplate adapter is nice because it will work with, basically anyone's lock. When you have a hollow metal door, but you have only a 1-inch wide faceplate. A hollow metal door meaning it's prepped for a 161 prep, which means it's 1 1/8 wide. Now, back to the item we're looking at. The link to the manufacturer's page is here. And when you click on that and pull that up, you'll be able to review not only all of the Hager products that we sell, seen here, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. Other encyclopedic documents we put here as well, prior catalogs, any documents that pertain to Hager. Their keying service manual is here, a video review that I did of their service manual, of their keying system. The 2010 ADA standards for accessible design. I can't think of why exactly I have this here, but I must for a reason. That's just going to be a document that's going to allow you to review the federal established mandated requirements for all parts of public access as it pertains to the handicapped. Obviously, the first thing that comes to mind is, where do I install the grab bars? How high off the floor? This would apply because of thresholds. Hager has a full complement of weather stripping, and there's lots of documentation in here about changes in elevation and how that applies to thresholds. I put it there for a reason. I just don't remember why. Let's finish up this video on camera. So in conclusion, this is one of the 2 Backset extension links that are available for the 2500 series, specifically for 3 3/4 backsets. The name Hager is synonymous with commercial builders hardware. Hinges, however, I think is what people, maybe old-timers, would think of Hager as. Hager hinge, but is their namesake. Hager has been in business since the mid-19th century, and they have certainly evolved well past just hinges. They can supply you with everything for the door opening, with the exception of the door and frame itself. Hinges, lock sets, exit devices, door closers, trim and auxiliary hardware, weather stripping, sliding door hardware, a bunch of variety accessories like signage and filler plates for steel doors and frames. And it just goes, electrified hardware, it just goes on and on and on. And the link to the product catalog is there for your review. When it comes to hinges, they have a full complement of not only everything commercial related, but residential as well. They have a very strong offering of residential hinges. In fact, they may have the strongest offering of residential hinges that I can think of, just in terms of the diversity of size and hole locations, along with treatment of corners, square 5/8 radius, quarter-inch radius, that 5/32 radius for aluminum storefront, they can do that, spring hinges, etc. Any questions on the 3917 Backset Extension Link or any other Hager product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.